We're here at Riverina Wool Combers at Wagga Wagga, which is owned by Chagers, one of the world's biggest top makers. In this particular mill, they process about 6,500 tonnes of good Aussie wool. They scour it here, essentially a big wash, and then the processed wool goes to their top making operation in China. Jeff Birch is the Client Services Manager and Ken Slade is the Greasy Wool Assessor.
We buy according to our requirements, specifications for different customers.
Well, we can blend a variety of lots into a blend, and as long as we are confident that what's in the bale is as it's described on the bale, then we're going to be happy. We don't want any surprises.
So are there specific clips that you actually seek out to buy?
Certainly over the years we're aware of the individual clips that perform for us, and we'll certainly make an effort to repeat if we can, if those clips are available. Some types of wool suit us and they perform year in, year out. We know they're the ones that are well prepared and they're uniform through the individual lines, and that's very important when you're producing wool top.
So if you've got a good reputation, we're going to be prepared to pay the top market price.
So great variations occur on the average farm. I mean, what are you guys seeing and what surprises do you get?
Certainly we get surprises for different lengths, staple length in the wool, different strengths, and I think this comes back to the fact that the producer needs to clearly identify his mobs, shear them separately, and then clearly mark on the bales what they are.
It's important they're separated, you know, weathers, ewes, different breeds, all those things have to be taken into context so that we're not getting a mixing of quality parameters.
So in more recent times there's a bigger issue with contamination. What's that?
We see a real threat or potential threat from the increase in meat sheep, and they're specifically referring to dark fibres, Kemp fibres, medullated fibres, and all of those won't or stand out in dyed products. They don't accept dyes like normal wool fibres. So we've got a real concern that there needs to be more care in separating these exotic breeds and making sure there's no mix-ups in the sheds.
What are you actually seeing firsthand?
Mainly an increase in black fibres. Yes, so we're suspecting that it's the introduction of exotic fibres because it just contradicts previous trends. And it just immediately downgrades the value of the finished top or the scoured wool. Growers probably don't realise that contamination in, say, a bale like this of some stain could contaminate up to 5 tonne of finished top, and the costs of that are just enormous.
So Jeff, you were showing me some of the surprises that you got inside the bales at various times. I love this
amazing
one. Tell me what this is all about.
I'm just glad the child wasn't in it.
No, but have a look at some of these other things here. Talk about these, Jeff.
Well, these are management practices. So this is bale twine that can appear in the paddocks. And next thing you know, you've got small black fibres or red fibres through your greasy wool. This is a fertiliser bag. And again, that poly just breaks down. It's very difficult to detect and can end up contaminating a large amount of finished top.
This one?
This is a piece of brands, and you can see, like in the greasy, how it doesn't come out when it's been scoured. Now, as I say, that's acceptable in some blends when we know, but generally it's not, and it needs to be clearly identified.
So if you've got a key message for growers, what would it be?
Prepare to the code. And as I say, if we've got confidence that what the bale says is what's inside the bale, then we're going to be prepared to maximise the return to the grower. What's also important, Scott, is they've got good management practices, so crutching procedures, separation of meat breeds and things like that, so there's no surprises from that as well.
The second processor we visited is at Wangaratta, where Australian country spinners are located. So let's have a quick look over the plant with Mike Hurley, who's the yarn manufacturing manager. They manufacture knitting wools, which is sold under a number of brands. It's also exported to world markets.
And here we have the final process, Scott. Finished product in the box.
This is the exciting part of the operation, isn't it, mate?
This is the last part. This is where we get some money back.
Yeah, where we send it to the market. So Michael, the company's been around for a long time.
85 years, Scott.
Right, so there's been some changes in the industry, and as a processor, what sort of impacts are you seeing coming in more recent times?
Well, firstly, can I say that we have seen significant improvements in the industry. Some years ago we had polypropylene contamination. Now that seems to have improved quite significantly. The issues that I think we do face are one with dark fibre, medullated fibre contamination.
So what are the problems with dark and medullated fibres?
You need to look at what are we going to put the product into. You put it into something that may be black, you dye it black, the medullated fibres, which won't take any dye, will still remain as basically a white fibre. You put it into a pastel type shade, and hence your dark fibres then become a contamination issue as well. They're the problems that we face in terms of dark fibres, medullated fibres.
And you see this cropping up?
I think it's probably something that's going to become more prevalent when you look at what growers are doing in terms of the directions they're heading with sheep production for fibre as opposed to meat. I can see it being an increasing problem.